Ain't it foggy outside? All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
You.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. Hack, how the hell's it going today?
Things are not good in Philadelphia. Now Maxi's hurt, and Embiid hasn't played. We've got more investigations. It's the Flyers stink. It's not good in Philadelphia. I have no real belief in the Eagles yet.
All right.
It's after the Phillies lost.
Let's start with everything that went down Saturday night with Joel Embiid. You guys were at the game. I was actually down at AW Collision, and you guys were down at the Sixers game. After the game, Embiid confronted local reporter Marcus Hayes, and Marcus Hayes had written a column about Embiid and mentioned his brother who passed away, and the fact that Embiid named his son after him.
Take it easy, Darth Vader.
Yeah, seriously, you haven't even ripped into
Breathing
the
into the 99 problems, but breathing ain't one.
That's what I get for holding it right there on the
Yeah, geez, you sound like Tony Soprano, man. No, but Marcus Hayes wrote in that column, and there was no reason for Embiid's brother, who passed away tragically, and his son to be in that column. If you had mentioned the
Say
fact...
James Naismith or somebody like that. You know
Anybody.
what I mean?
Well, he basically said his brother would be ashamed of him for not playing or something
Right,
similar
and
to that.
Embiid's knee is like Swiss cheese. Like, I don't think... Look, if this was the playoffs, would Embiid have played at all in any of these games? I think he would have tried to. I think he would have tried.
Yeah, but it would have petered out in the 6th and the 7th.
Absolutely. But, I mean, I think that the Sixers did themselves no favors by announcing before the year that this was going to be a strategy of theirs, and Embiid saying I'll probably never play back-to-backs in my life ever again. And they also did no favors.
So he opens up next Wednesday, and Thursday's a back-to-back. So he's going to play Wednesday and not play Thursday.
Well, he's got to
probably
play Tuesday because it's an NBA Cup game, and he's got to
Yeah,
play.
so
what's that?
There's no way we play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
No, he probably mixed up Wednesday, Thursday for Tuesday, Wednesday, but
The NBA Cup?
it's that in-season tournament.
That starts already?
Yeah, they do
I
it
thought
really...
that wasn't until December.
No, they started earlier in the season
Well,
to try
the
to
games
generate
are
interest.
kind of like over a couple of weeks
Okay.
to like the lead up to it.
They also didn't announce when he was coming back until this thing happened with Marcus Hayes, and the NBA suspended him for 3 games. So they said, but he can't start a suspension until he's quote unquote healthy enough to play. So they're like,
Sixers are like, yeah, he's good.
he's good. So start his suspension now. So he gets the 3 games, a grace period that they have.
That'll be another investigation, I'm sure.
Right. He better be
Third
ready
one of the
Tuesday. The whole problem with the Sixers thing is that they came out the night before the game, the very first game, and said he wasn't going to play. And he was whatever. They were going to like do this load management thing with him. If they had said 2 weeks before that, 3 weeks before that, hey, listen, he's coming. He played in the Olympics off that knee injury in the playoffs. He's ramping up. You know, we don't know if he's going to be ready for the regular season. It might take him a week or two to like get ready, back in shape, and swelling out of the knee, XYZ. Nobody would have had a problem with that.
Right.
But you're waiting because you probably want to sell tickets to the home opener to the night before to tell that. That's why everybody got up in arms.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine if you have children or, you know, anybody even buying tickets. The tickets are so
Yeah, a
expensive.
kid who last Christmas you got him an Embiid shirt for Christmas, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now for his birthday, you're getting him tickets to opening day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're alienating your fan base and the consumers of your product by doing that. It's really annoying that the NBA has this problem, and I understand wanting to preserve players, right? You don't want to throw a pitcher 300 innings anymore, right? Like, you want to preserve talents.
You're paying these guys $60 million a year.
Well, that's the thing that bothers me about ultimately with Embiid and everything. It's like, you knew he had these knee injuries, and instead you gave him this extension. And what was the alternative? Was he going to leave? Was he going to demand a trade? I mean,
Possibly.
I definitely could have seen him leaving.
But they just signed Paul George for a 4-year deal, and they probably were
Maxey's getting ready. They'll re-up him
Maxey
next
was
year.
re-upped already, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
did
signed.
just re-up.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
It was his first
both of those were in the off season. So
So that's your core.
listen, you're not gonna trade Embiid. I understand he's got these cognitive knee issues that he's gonna have the rest of his career / probably life.
They're not going to get better as he gets older.
Right. So you're all in already at this point. So did I love the extension? I mean, I don't know. But what else were you gonna do?
Somebody called in the radio today and said, "Well, dude, this draft class is obviously going to be great.
It's very good.
So why don't we just tank?"
No, you can't tank the first year of Paul George.
Yeah, get Paul George, Embiid, Maxey, and whoever.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do that. You think that the league's gonna let the Sixers get
No.
a top pick,
No,
even
no.
if you tank with that? Dude,
Don't they
you're-
have that OKC protected pick or something like that?
Well, no, their first round. They have a first round pick that's like top 10 protected. If they fall underneath that, then it goes to either Houston or OKC. So they really can't even tank, or
Yeah.
else their pick goes to somebody else.
Gotcha.
So I mean, they can't purposely tank.
Gotcha. All right, so that's their end of their protection on that
Yeah,
that trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a trade
I
and they
get
were
it.
like, hey, if we're... They obviously did the deal because there's no way they thought they were going to be in the bottom 10 of the league. So so you can't even do that as the Sixers, or else your first round pick goes away.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how many games are these three guys even going to play together this year.
40.
I mean, I might say less than that. All three play in the same game together.
Well, they got 15 back-to-backs, I
So
think.
those are
that's
out.
so that's 15. So that's 15 out of 30. That's 15 out of 30 games that Joel would play. That's if everything perfectly goes right and he doesn't have any other injury issues. Now Maxey's probably out till the first or second week of December. So
And George is still dealing with the knee bruise that he had. So it's not pretty.
and anything can happen.
And we've dug ourselves a hole to start the season. I mean, they only have, one win?
1-6.
They're 1-6 right now to start the year. And this is a team that you had, championship aspirations for before the year. So, not a good
I had
start.
no championship aspirations at all, dude. You got to go through Boston.
Well, okay, man, a lot of...
Yeah, but you could say they were up, competing. One of the top...
They're the top 3 or 4 in the East.
to compete.
Right? And they're one of the top 8 teams in the league, I would say. But...
Healthy.
Man, yeah, healthy is a huge question mark for this team. So, not a great start. You guys were down there. I mean, they got their ass kicked by the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun.
It has not been a good start to the basketball season here. And then to make matters worse, the next day with frustrations was that Eagles-Jags game. My God, I don't know if I've ever been more frustrated with a win in my life. These Nick Sirianni decisions continue to just upset me. Ollie, what the heck are you thinking about this coach right now?
We won. I don't care.
Look, I know he has a great win-loss record, right? But the points that you left on the field there.
Yeah, I mean, some of them, I don't mind him going for it. The other ones, it's just take the points. But
You can't agree the first one,
I'm not
can
going to
you?
sit here and be miserable about it.
I'm kind of miserable
No,
about
it's
it.
Yeah, what else is new? Everybody's miserable about it. Nobody in Philadelphia is happy. So
Listen, I can't
I have nothing to say about it because nobody's happy that the Eagles are winning.
No, I mean, look, they're winning, yes, and they won last year in the regular season, in the first half of the season. But
What's the record of the 4 teams we just beat?
They're 10 and...
Doesn't matter. You
24
play who's in
or something.
front of you.
Okay, Hack, I see your point there.
Dallas
doesn't matter.
without
No,
that.
that's the only thing. People are scared that it's going to cost them against better teams or it's going to cost them a playoff game. That's what people are ultimately afraid of. They're not afraid of what's happening against the Jaguars or X and O. But when you get into the playoffs and you get against these good teams and points are at a premium, possessions are at a premium, that could win or lose you a playoff game. I mean, look at the Detroit Lions. What happened to them? Their coach going for it, and listen. I'm all for being aggressive, but it's got to be situational. It all has to be situational.
You go up by 3 scores. There's not a coach in the league that would disagree with that.
Right.
They've got 36 yards in the first half. You go up 3 scores, coast, run the ball all you want. You know what I'm saying? It's basic. My 16-year-old son was texting me, "What the hell is this guy doing?"
and a lot of the things that coaches don't have a feel for now because they're so analytical is momentum. Momentum is a huge thing in football and let alone all sports. But
and he gave it back to them.
Exactly, and that's all right before the half, and that's all it takes for a team. It's like, hey, we're down 3 scores to, hey, yo, we're only down 2 touchdowns. We're down 2 touchdowns
we got
and a field goal.
36 yards, dude. It could be 35-0.
Jags also got gifted a touchdown.
They did. They absolutely got gifted it. That was a BS touchdown. That was such a bad
That was
call.
to keep him in the game. That was a work.
That's
honestly,
a work. You're calling a work on that? I mean,
if you
that was
don't
such a
think
bad.
all sports is work, you're crazy.
That was such a terrible call.
I didn't think so.
You didn't think so.
Because his foot landed on his ankle.
I honestly thought it could have went either way. Was it probably a bad call? Yes, but I could see what they were saying. Like, he got through that arm tackle, ran into his own offensive lineman, which caused him to trip.
Yeah.
Like, where's the line of demarcation there?
It's tough.
You know, like, so I didn't think it was as egregious as a lot of people did. Wrong call? Probably.
Yeah, I think it was.
But I don't think it was like, how do you miss it? Like, I thought they looked at it a little bit differently, as the same way that I kind of looked at it. But like you said, probably the wrong call. I don't know. I can't. The one that bothers me is the one later in the game when you're up 6 points and it's 4th and inches, which I don't care if it's 4th and whatever. You got to go up 9 points there. You got to go up 2 scores. 2 scores that late in the game is so much different than staying at 6 points. And
when they're already on a roll, you know what I'm saying? You could break their backs right there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's 2 scores late in the game, and the thing is, like, with the and you don't even do the tush push. You do that rollout play act. They got stopped 2 times in the tush push, and they got scared of it. They got punked. If they would have decided to do the tush push, I would have been like, fine, do it again. It's running at like an 80% success clip.
Yeah.
Like, they stop you twice, you're still 8 out of 10. Like, your numbers are still bound to come back in your favor. But I would have took the points there and made it a 2-score game.
How about the Saquon play? I mean, that's an all-time.
The 26-yard jaunt? The leapfrog.
The backwards leapfrog. I mean, I've been watching football for
I've never seen anything
25, more years. I have never seen anything like that. That is an all-time highlight play. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible.
To even it's
like
not
you pressed the wrong button in a video game.
Yeah, it's not like he was running one-on-one down with the guy and like had time to think about it. Like, he's bouncing off a tackler, bouncing off another tackler, or spinning, and during that whole time decides to jump backwards. And that guy wasn't like hunched over, like low to the ground. Like, he
got some hops.
Yeah,
He
like,
did.
He was standing up.
That's going to be his statue if he ever gets one.
He's an incredible player. Like, I'm so glad that we have him. And they're running the ball, which is great to see. The Eagles are really, really running the ball well. And, hey, man, look, as hateful as we will be about Sirianni, don't even get me started on Big Dom. I'm tired of seeing that guy. Why does he have a headset on? I don't know why.
He was talking to the guy in the crowd. There was a guy in the crowd with a headset on.
I'm like, why has this guy got a headset now? He's got a headset
We
now.
joked that there was a cord that was just hanging by
It
his
was like the Halloween Havoc cage last week. His Big Dom's headset.
not even connected.
I heard he was listening to the Sandman podcast.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I heard.
Okay, we love you now, Big Dom.
Friend of the show, right?
Friend of the show, sure, Big Dom. Speaking of friends of the show, Hack, last night WWE had their NXT show at the
Tosh, good segue.
at the ECW Arena, and there were a lot of your boys there. It was pretty cool to see everybody mixed up with a lot of the current talents. Bubba got to work on the show. Nunzio got to work on the show.
Got a nice job in.
Yeah, they both got some good work in there. I was real happy to see Nunzio, and I don't. Listen,
So was I, because I didn't know he was there. I
Well,
didn't know Rhino was there.
This is me and Ty were texting about this last night. I don't like that they call Guido Nunzio. I'm tired of the WWEification of people's names. He's Little Guido, all right? We don't need to call him Nunzio.
Well, don't they have the ECW rights? Can't they call him Little Guido, or do they think that's like racist
derogatory or something?
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know. I mean, I'm sure him and Tony Mamaluke are fine with it. You know, like it was
Call
great.
me whatever you want.
It was great
Yeah,
to see.
pay me.
It was great to see Tony Mamaluke. Too.
It was.
I was happy to
I
see
loved
him.
it.
I was really. It was really, really
Dawn
cool.
Marie, Franny was in the crowd.
Freddie got her 8 seconds in on the camera.
Good for her.
Got paid well.
Good for her. Good for everybody. It was cool to see
And
them mix
actually,
in.
for everybody, Franny was going to do the. They wanted her to do the spot that Dawn Marie did.
The ref.
Yeah, but Franny's like, I can't get up and down like that for to count and stuff. But little did she realize, I mean, how
Neither
much
did
count-
Dawn Marie, really.
I mean, not to kill Dawn. I don't want to kill Dawn, but that it was not, especially with all the plunder in the ring, right?
Yeah.
It was a tough job to be reffing that match.
Yeah, the only
As-
thing you've ever refed in your life. Yes, it's tough.
To be thrown out into that on live TV, you got ladders and chairs and everything, and you don't do it normally. You're always somebody hack that talks about the importance of the referee in the ring.
Logistics in the ring, dude. You got to know where to be and where not to be.
And also moving things out of the way in a match like that.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, it's,
Including yourself.
The broken ladder should have went out of the ring, and that was gimmicked
oh, absolutely, yeah.
because it was ripped.
Yeah,
The steel was
brick,
ripped.
which is just so horrible.
Dude, oh wait, but wait, did you hate the
That
cinder
is
block too?
So bad. Like you can't do that. You can't do that
Yeah.
in wrestling. You can't do that.
No, I'm with you.
It looked like a sponge.
Yeah, like,
It was a good sell though.
and it's like you could have did that spot with anything else,
Yeah.
other than a brick. Like
Yes.
you can't.
The butt end of a cane or something like that.
Something, anything.
yeah,
it was
like you
horrible.
can't. Yeah, you can't.
Nah,
do
yeah,
that.
you didn't need to do
And
that.
heck, next time you talk to Bubba, make sure you tell him the finish was horrible.
Oh, his finish?
Yeah.
Let me see what I have for that. All right, we'll get to it.
What? Did you actually have notes on the NXT show? I mean, go ahead. We'll talk about
Well,
it right
yeah,
now.
we'll talk about it when we get to it.
Well, we're not going to go match by match to it. We're just talking.
Yeah, we're just talking
Oh, no,
about
I don't have that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is
I
my...
was going to say,
this
you got, damn, look at you doing extra homework here tonight.
No, I
There's
watched
extra
it.
credit.
I know, yeah.
I did.
extra
Oh, wait. I think I did put a note in from last night.
Did you put a note? Okay.
One note. 3-way both. Was there a 3-way
I
last
was a little
night?
that's
disappointed.
Crown
I thought
Jewel, I think.
RVD was going to get in the match and make it a 3-way
So
at
did I.
some
And
point.
do you think?
I
Do
wonder
you know
why he
anything
didn't
about
work.
Rob like not wanting to take bumps anymore or anything? Because they did the angle backstage where he didn't even take a bump. Really, he was kind of like the
He
camera.
was stretching with the girl.
I know, but then he took a bump after where there was like a camera thing moved. The
Well,
guy,
hasn't he done a,
No, didn't he get jumped?
he did,
Yeah.
but they didn't
Yeah.
show it.
Right,
I'm saying.
he's-
well, hasn't he done a
Insinuated
match like
violence.
somewhat recently?
in AEW. Yeah, he worked
right.
for AEW
So
recently.
I don't
and
think you would not want to bump.
I don't know.
He actually texted me like Tuesday. He's like, "Oh, am I gonna?" He goes, "Yo, you gonna be there Wednesday night?" I'm like, "No." He texts back, "Yeah, I didn't want to see you anyway." Something that I would text him back. You know,
that's great.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you anyway.
Certainly happy that they keep the memory of ECW alive. Pretty cool down there.
The setup was pretty cool with the show too. I didn't know how it was going to be, but it looked like they fed a lot of people in there for as much as they could.
It
yeah.
looked bigger than what the crowd is, and the fake hat guy, the bogus
Yeah,
hat
that guy bothered me. I texted you about that guy too. Like that's stolen valor. This guy was
stolen valor.
It is stolen valor.
He's
He
not
was-
in an army in a war.
I don't care, Hack.
That guy's a veteran.
Yeah,
Yes, me.
hat guy, Hawaiian shirt guy. Nobody's allowed to take that guy's gimmick. That guy whoever you were in the front row last night, don't do that again. I
I mean,
think that's
listen,
a
unless he's
violation.
paying homage, I mean,
I guess.
Oh my gosh, fans are getting homage now.
Now fans are getting homage.
Dude, some
hey,
of
that
these
guy
ECW
deserves it.
fans
Green
do.
shirt guy
Yes.
in WWE's.
Agree.
Yeah.
no, the
yeah.
hat guy
That guy's a
is
legend.
he was at every ECW show.
Just like Stanley was, the kid with the crutches
Yeah.
that was always in the corner.
Others
The
not.
other dude with the dreadlocks that was
Yes.
always in no shirt on.
Yeah, the guy
Kathy Fitzpatrick.
the guy in the Isaac Bruce jersey.
Isaac Brute's guy, that's our favorite. When we go back and watch the ECW shows. But yeah, it was cool to see everybody there on Wednesday night. It certainly.
I liked it. Well, Rhino stole my spot. That's why I wasn't there. Lights on, lights off. That was my
Oh,
spot.
and the guys like Barry in the Philly crowd. That's a total hack come out and cane that guy.
Yeah, I was
Especially
saying,
being
dude,
from
this is
Philly.
while it's happening, I'm like, oh, this is the spot I should be in.
Right. I mean, well, listen, I had the idea that you
Listen,
can give to them for next time when they come around because the 2300 Arena, they sold it out really quick. And
Okay, you sold out 250 freaking tickets.
That was 1,000 or it was 1,000 plus in there last night, man.
And listen, the lights might have had to been out for like 4.5 minutes for you to get into the same spot that Rhino was in. So
I would have been taking a nap underneath the ring the whole time. My alarm would have went off. I'd have climbed right out.
There you go.
Well, that would have been a way to get around playing the music at least.
Well, I have a great idea that
That's a good point, too,
We'll
Howard.
We'll talk off air for the next time they're around. You're going to have to pitch it, or they're going to have to come calling because that's what the fans really needed. Actually, was a little Sandman on that show.
hey, I
last
got a
night.
couple questions on Twitter. People were asking like, "Oh, how can I be there tonight?" We can
A lot
hear
of
this
people were
tonight?"
asking.
I'm like,
Yeah, a lot of people were asking. Also, if you guys haven't had the chance to check out our Instagram page, Hack texted me on Sunday. He just starts bombarding my phone with picture texts, and he starts sending all these awesome old pictures. First of all, Hack, you with long hair. What was going on back then, man? You had this beautiful.
I was a beast, dude. I was fat.
You had this beautiful flowing. That's what Louis dangerously said in the comments. He said, "Big
I
fat
stole
man."
that from him. Yeah, I saw that.
"Yeah, Hackio."
Hey, dude, that was me in high school.
Okay,
That was
you-
my senior portrait.
You had great hair. Why did you go short hair as a wrestler? I feel like a lot of
Well,
people.
because it went out of style. You know what I'm saying? So by like 85, I got rid of it.
Okay, so you went short hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were starting the trend. You were like, you know what? I'm going
Well, then I
for it."
turned into a Chippendale.
Yeah, they didn't like. Yeah, somebody on the
Cut my
comments.
hair. All right, be a Chippendale, Hack.
Somebody on the comments said, "Where are the Chippendales pictures?"
Dude, nobody had. He didn't have a phone camera back then. You weren't sending selfies and shit.
Well, you'd rather.
There was only one picture that my mom took of me the first day I put the outfit on at home, the cuffs and the collars.
We have to find that
my
picture.
God!
Hey, Mom, I'm going out for my first Chippendale thing. Take a pic.
Like you're going to senior prom or something.
yeah, right.
That's probably what he told her. Like,
I didn't even go to my prom.
Oh God, that's
he'd
great.
rather be the one grabbing the ponytail instead of getting his ponytail grabbed. I think.
Act gigolo. Oh God. The show this week we are reviewing is WWE's Crown Jewel. They were in Saudi Arabia. This is one of those Saudi shows, and the show started off with Roman Reigns and Jay and Jimmy Uso taking on Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. So to start, Roman and Jimmy came out together with Roman's music, and this was something that I liked with the intros is that they had Jay come out with his own entrance through the crowd, like he was the star. I really liked that they allowed him.
Well, he's got
that-
yeet going. He's
I
got to
know.
get the yeet pop.
Right, which makes sense though, and it's cool to me that they're, Roman as the star there is allowing them to get a little bit of their shine because they've he's done a great job growing on his own outside of the bloodline thing over the last year to get really over as a singles, and now that you're bringing them back in as a group, we want to make sure that they're not trying to like devalue some of the work that they've done to get him over to this point. So I thought it was cool that it came out.
I didn't know if he was going to be as successful as the solos, and he's not Solo Sikoa as a solo wrestler, but yeah, you didn't know, and he's done a great job doing it.
Yeah. The crowd was really into this. Jimmy and Jay were doing like their typical Uso spots early. And this crowd, some of the Saudi shows at the start were like not really good crowds. I did actually think the crowd was pretty into the work and was aware of the
Well,
stars.
because I think more people are watching it now since they've came over there.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Now it's on the station. Now they're getting more fans that are actual real fans, not just there for the experience.
Right.
And I think not only that, I think those people were watching some of the shows they had in France or where else.
Scotland, Germany.
And those crowds are going like, ape shit or whatever. So I felt like they
I had
probably
a
also...
Germany crowd.
So they also felt like Hey, let's put our flavor on the show. You know what I'm saying?
But I think in terms of Saudi shows, this was the best in terms of reactions that I can remember.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
For crowd reactions, I think that this was like
And it was the most merchandise I've seen people wearing in the crowd for sure.
absolutely, yeah, a lot of
they're growing
shirts.
a base there for sure.
Yeah.
But I think did they work in a much bigger building last time?
Dude,
They have.
I was just
believe
gonna
worked in a different building that was like a dome.
I was just
with
gonna
an
say
open
that.
air top.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think anytime that, like, in Hack, you could speak to this better. If you're working in a stadium that has open air, sometimes the reactions are going to be a little different.
It's going to go straight up.
Right.
that's what I was gonna say. The building felt a little bit smaller, so maybe the reactions were a little bit louder compared to like the bigger buildings that they were working in like Riyadh and stuff like that. What was the other? What's it? Jeddah.
Yes.
Jeddah's
yes.
the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that might have been
Dude, the only two stadium shows that they really should be doing are maybe SummerSlam and WrestleMania.
Well, I think they
But like every other one, they should keep it like how they have it for the sound and everything
Yeah.
like that. It sounds a lot better.
I think they want to move as many tickets as possible too, which is why you want to see a Rumble go to a stadium event.
Dude,
or,
they're getting paid $50 million a show. They don't give a damn about another
Well,
ticket
the
sold.
Rumble's
right.
going to the Colts Stadium this year, isn't it?
I believe you're right.
But
Didn't they just
and that's a
advertise that?
dome, so that's
Yeah, but it's a football
It's a
stadium.
Well, yeah,
It's
well,
not-
You're saying not open air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like if you're going to do football stadiums, maybe do domes instead of, and you fix that problem and you fix your weather problem.
I
Yes.
got you. Well, they pump in sound anyway. So.
Yeah.
That's true.
This was a great matchup to start the show because obviously you got all the heat in this. I thought the work in this was pretty good.
Seen it before, seen it before.
Yes, but now you're getting them back together for the first time.
I thought Roman was pinned at that one. I thought they actually
we gotta
counted
talk
three.
About that. That was a complete botch. So what happened
Dude,
there?
Jimmy was
late.
Solo kicked. There was like a Superman punch, and then he hits the spike on Roman, and then Roman kicks out. But it looked like Jimmy was supposed to make the save, but he missed a cue, and the ref like kind of held up his count there.
Yeah, and because the ref wasn't even looking at him, so he
No.
would have even no idea because he was over at their feet. The ref was up at the head.
Yeah, it was very hitchy at that point. And I
And
was
who
like,
was that ref?
I forget his name.
Was that
He's
was,
been
there
around.
was, no, yeah, but there was one. Was that the chubby ref?
I think it
Because
was.
there was one ref that I
think
couldn't
it was
recognize at all.
the one that, he's an Asian ref. I don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure that's the guy who did that match. But when I'm watching that, and everybody's down, and it's Roman and Solo, and everybody's down for way too long.
5 minutes.
way too long.
And then that spot happens, and I'm thinking to myself, how are you late? And you've been down for 10 minutes.
Right.
Like, how can you
just
possibly
launched.
be late on that?
I thought the same thing. He just launched.
It was a mistime spot completely.
I just don't know how you're late.
I mean, at least if you're coming from the other side of the ring and and you're like in the ref's privy of fucking view, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If I'm using privy right there, but yeah, it was just, and he barely touched the feet too
Yeah.
when it was happening.
Yeah. Jay then did a bunch of super kicks to everybody. Roman hit a Superman punch, and then Jacob Fatu came in on Roman, hit a big moonsault, which was awesome to see. And then Solo hit another spike, and then a third spike, and then Solo Sikoa pinned Roman Reigns. I think it's the right finish for the match because you're trying to heat up this War Games thing. And Solo certainly needs a level of credibility because he doesn't really
He's
have
going to
it.
get jumped over by the other dude.
Absolutely. Jacob Fatu, yes. And I know,
But
but
Solo's getting in shape.
he is.
You know what I mean? He's getting skinnier all the freaking time. You know what I mean? So at least it's like, know your role. You know what I mean? But he also sees it too.
Yes, but he
You
also
know what I mean? You see the Usos got split up, and look where Jimmy went, and look where the other one went.
But he also needs the credibility as to be the leader. You gotta beat Roman a little bit, and Roman's being unselfish, taking a pin there, a clean pin.
The finish was right. Like, what they did was the right thing to do. I thought the finish was horrible. But
Yeah, I did too. It was
Like,
muddled. All the other shit afterwards.
everything, yeah. And why did they do a ref down?
I don't know. I don't
It was
know.
it was completely and utterly meaningless. And you got Tomatonga on the outside. He did nothing the entire match. You do a ref down, that leads to nothing. Then the finish was completely and utterly muddled, and also Solo hits him with the second or third spike for the finish.
I think it was the third. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
And
whatever
he was
it was.
basically just chopping him. I thought.
Well, he gave him the
Whatever it
spike.
was. Yeah.
I
Well,
know, but he wasn't coming here like you come for the spike like you're throwing like a curveball or something like that.
It was like
it was
and,
weird.
No, that's Solo, and Listen, I think he's a very good worker. He's got to start getting closer with his punches, his headbutts, his whatever the hell
Tighter.
he's doing, because he's punching his hand clearly on everything. His headbutts are not like. You're a great worker, dude, but you got to make it look. That's just my opinion. From what I'm watching, and I'm watching it a little bit different than like your average fans watching it, but for me, I'm like.
Or somebody from the 50th row.
Right, but I'm like, man, like, come on. You're making yourself uncredible and not look good, in my opinion.
Yeah. Post-match, which I guess kind of also plays into the match, the Bloodline then is just beating up the face version of the Bloodline, and it's 4-on-3, and the fans know the deal. They're chanting for Sammy. And then Jacob had a chair. He gave it to Solo. Solo put it around his neck. He was going to then just crack him with it, and then Sami's
No, he was going to do that butt thing into the corner.
Yeah.
Crack him with it.
Okay. You know,
Yeah, the butt crack.
Yeah, he's going to crack him with it. Yeah, there you go. That's fine. And then Sammy's music hit. And this is kind of what I didn't like about it, too. It's like, they were all just kind of like standing there in the ring. And then, like, they were kind of like not sure of what Sammy was going to do. Like, Sammy wasn't going to turn heel. Anyway, the fans were chanting.
Right. There was no belief in that.
Right. There was that. Yeah, you should have just ran in and cleared house, I think.
Would have been awesome if he did.
Oh, a nice little twist on it.
I
Okay.
would've did it.
You could. It's been very by the numbers booking, right? Like there hasn't been a lot of twists and turns as a fan with this Bloodline, and a lot of the booking in general for WWE over this past year has been a lot of like, okay, you see where it's going, it's logical, you know where it's going next, but it's not like a whole lot of surprises with it. The fans were chanting Sammy Uso.
I was
Adam.
kind of hoping he was going to turn, actually, but
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's a
Then you got Sammy and Jay.
right. You could do a lot of stuff with that. Sammy then hugged him, and then he gave him the Uranagi, which was awesome to Solo seeing that. And then the Bloodline jumped him, and then Solo was in the middle of it, and it was just kind of a big brawl thing. Roman went for the spear, and then they hit in midair, and it looked like Sammy kind of hit his head on the way down. So Jimmy was screaming at Sammy, and then Jay started screaming at Jimmy. So they're doing a little bit of a dissension thing there, but it looks like we are going to get Bloodline War Games at Survivor Series. It seems like it's the direction.
Ooh, we'll get to see the same match again.
so is Sammy going to be with Jay and
Jimmy and Roman.
You think so?
Yes, I think that's the 4 versus 4 match. But
is that what it is? Is it 4 versus 4?
Yeah.
Or is it 5 versus 5?
I think it's 4 versus 4.
I want to say 5, but
I know they've done 5 in the past, but I think this is setting up to be a 4-4.
We'll see.
Maybe you could add Cody on the one side and then another Samoan on the other side.
Please don't put Cody in that match.
You know what, this match, I didn't think it got to anything really good. I'm going to go 2.5 stars for it. Obviously, it kind of felt like a little house showy, which might be a little theme of the show. But, yeah, I'm going 2.5 stars. Ollie? 2? Hack? He's going 4. Why?
That many Samoans, I can't give him less than a 4.
Yeah, he's afraid of him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Ty.
I'll chop the shit out of
Like I'll ever be in a ring again with one. Maybe at a convention.
yeah, I'm going 0.5.
Wow.
Only-
burying it.
And it only got a 0.5 because I love Jacob Fatu's boogeyman jerk shake, body shake that he
Great
does.
sell.
Yeah, not only that, he gets done like hitting somebody, and then he does like
Yeah.
the bird, like the toucan like shake or whatever. But no, I've seen it 1,000 times, or I don't know. I thought it stunk, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that was the opener. Up next on the show was Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, our favorite, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane taking on Piper Niven and Chelsea, Lash and Jakara for the women's tag team title match. So you got a 3-way here. It's
4-way.
4-way. I'm sorry, 4-way. It's just a crowded match, and I think it's kind of like a get everybody on the show match. I didn't think it was bad. It was kind of back and forth. There was a lot of heat on Chelsea early, and then, man, there was something with, what was the note I have down here? Oh, Jackson and Io Sky had some weird botch. I don't know what that
There was
was.
a bunch of weird
They
botches.
tried to shoot Jackson was sitting up on the turnbuckle.
Yes, that's right.
And Iho was running, and Dakota was about to shoot her up to the top turnbuckle, and she didn't make it up there, which they actually recovered nicely on that.
Yeah,
and they gave her a hit.
she came down.
She gave her a hit and then
back.
just flipped her off the top. Yeah, just flipped her off the top.
Yeah.
Dude, at first the girls' outfits, I'm like, what are these people thinking with all these outfits? And then I remembered where they were, and you got to have every piece of your skin covered.
Right. I mean,
But I don't know. It's like they tried. It would have been better if there was like definite colors for each team. It would have been easier for the half-ass
It felt
fans
like
to
they
follow it
kind
too.
of tried to make it that way, but
red team, blue team, green team.
Yeah.
And like to me, looking at this match before it starts, it's like, all right, well, this is kind of set up to fail because of just how many people are in it. And then the first sequence starts with Io Sky and Bianca, and I'm like, all right, well, this is good to start.
Wow,
No, what's a nice start?
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, maybe I might be wrong here, and then it just goes completely off the rip.
Piper, I think, is a really good worker too.
her and Chelsea Green and
good
Iho
duo.
Sky we're
Jesus.
the best. We're the best
Yeah.
in the.
To me, it was
in the ring.
Chelsea.
Chelsea's good heel.
That girl is really good.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Like totally good.
Yeah.
That was the best I've ever seen her.
Yeah, that she was good in the match. We got a showdown between
Her
Lash.
facials are unbelievable.
She really did have great reactions.
Oh, when she was going up to the top to fake the moonsault, then she went down to the down low, and then she went down again. on the
Good
thing.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what to do.
We got a big showdown between Lash and Jade, just striking away
That
at each
team
other.
has no business. It was a Takara and Lash. They
Yeah.
have no business being on a show that big.
I mean, I don't think they're ready for it.
They should be in NXT.
Well, they were
Yeah.
trying to hide him in a 4-way tag.
Wait, well, yeah, but the one chick was better than Jade and bigger than her.
You're talking about Lash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know the name. I just
Yeah.
said that I got meta down there.
Yeah.
But that girl was good. That girl should have got Jade's spot.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jade's got the
And we got
everything.
another top 10 awful Jade pump kick.
Oh my God!
needs
She
to-
kicked her in the knee.
Yeah.
The move needs to be retired. Get rid
was
of it.
so
Get rid of it.
I mean, the camera cut couldn't even help it.
Get
It was so
rid
bad.
of it.
She pump kicked her in the knee, upper thigh. I'm like,
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And then what was Jade doing outside the ring for like 5? I forgot she was even in the match at one point.
There was a big cluster outside that was going on.
Yeah, I forgot she was even in the match.
There was a lot of big moves going on, and then
The Piper top rope spot was
where,
all
where
right.
she accidentally squashed Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah, but why does she start climbing back up?
that was my biggest thing.
I don't know.
To do what?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't.
Exactly. Clearly to get to the finish because Jade was never going to get her up on her shoulders alone. But,
Right.
but
There
you
you
got
go.
to set that up a different way. She splashes Chelsea and then she's like, "Oh, sorry, Chelsea," and
I'm
then
just
starts
gonna
climbing
climb
back
back
up
up.
to the turnbuckle again. Like,
But I did like the Doomsday finish. The Doomsday finish was nice and it was well executed.
yeah, that was fine. Just getting to it. It's like that made no sense whatsoever.
And Bianca was late coming off the top rope one spot too.
I actually thought they took it up a gear towards the finish of this match. Like the last closing section of it got pretty decent. But for a 4-way tag, this was nothing special. I'm gonna go 2 stars for this.
I'm going 1.5.
1.5 hack.
I'm going 3 considering it was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay. Ty?
I given it a 1 only because that one sequence I really liked where I think it was Piper hit her with the crossbody and then they did like
blockbuster.
they did the face bump and then Chelsea hit her with the knees and then they hit her with the back and then Iho came and hit another one. Like that was
Yeah,
that
they
was
had a nice
really
sequence
good
there towards the end of the
sequence.
match.
It was and it's a no DQ match and everybody starts outside the ring and everybody acts like they can't get inside the ring and then once the cluster happens it's a free for all. The ref doesn't matter. That's just a nitpick thing that I was watching. That if you're having that and it's a no DQ, why is everybody so scared of the ref that you can't get inside the ring? That's just,
No, dude, that's a great point, man. Up next on the show was Bronson Reed taking on Seth Rollins. So they've been really trying to go with Bronson Reed, give him a little bit of a push here, and obviously this feud. I thought this match was strong, but I was really disappointed with the finish of this. To me, I think Bronson Reed should have went over in this match. I don't think Rollins would have been any worse for wear had he lost the match. And I think you could have elevated somebody here in this.
I
match.
thought
agree.
that's why Bronson was in the match.
I agree with you. I think he should have been the one winning the match.
And like, not to take away anything in the match, like I thought the work in the match was pretty damn good. Like
Seth Rollins, you can't hurt Seth Rollins at this point,
right,
basically.
And heck, this is something you always talk about. It's like you beat me whenever you want. Like it's not gonna matter.
He has his entrance.
Right, and he's also established.
And I'll
for
get a
12
bigger
years.
pop than you once you get out of the ring and I finally get up. That's
Right.
just how it is. In this match, yes, I thought for sure this was like Bronson's next stepping stone.
Right.
I hated him just selling a punch. He'd sell a punch in that match. Like, he just got killed. He'd, like, stumble around and stuff like that. That dude, you need to hit with 5, 6, 7 things. You know, I know whoever he's in the ring with. I mean, if he's in the ring with the Big Show, you still got to sell. You got to get more done to you to sell.
So, and I think they've been doing a solid job of pushing him as this monster, right? He's been laying out Rollins. He did all the
I love
splashes.
that. One of the things,
the
that's
Tsunami.
I
It's
love
awesome.
it when he does that.
It's great.
It's
And
literally just like he steps on the top and like flops. It's actually hilarious.
Yeah, there's no like frog in that
No, it's
splash.
just like
Yeah.
he just steps up and
no,
just
he
like falls.
splats
It's
like
great.
splat. Like I like his look. I think he's a really good worker, and he's somebody credible you could put in the ring with anybody, whether they're big or
Absolutely.
small. And I'm a big fan of him as a character. But I really feel like he should have got the win here. To
I
me,
like
that's
the chair throw when he threw him over the breakaway
Yeah,
wall.
throw him on the chair.
And
Yeah.
you see
that's
the
a different
welts on
spot
his
that you
back
don't see.
afterwards from that spot, but that
Yeah.
was a hell of a bump.
the work in this match, I didn't have any issue with it. I didn't think it was a great match, but I really do think that they missed the ball there. With,
I think they missed the
booking.
ball there. And before that match, I had questions about Bronson Reed. I thought he asserted himself very well in the match. I didn't think it was a great match by any stretch, like you're saying, Tosh. I thought it kind of... The flow was like a little bit off, but I thought he accomplished something in that match, being able to go toe-to-toe with Seth, be there for every spot, follow everything, get his own shit over, not go too crazy. I thought he did very well in that. And
I thought the match was perfect length too, like 12 minutes 20 seconds, not too long. And
it honestly felt
more
longer
than
than
enough
that.
in.
Yeah, and they got everything in,
Yeah,
right? And
it was slowed down, like not super fast pace, and
yeah, I thought the pace in it was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was properly paced, but I think if you did a different finish, like you even could have got Rollins over even more. Like if he had kicked out of something more, and then Bronson finally puts him away with another tsunami. Like I don't know.
you could have went Seth missing something big and Bronson just catching him, and that doesn't make Seth look... Not like you're making Seth look weak either way, but Seth could have been like, you know what, I've been dealing with this MF for like whatever, went for something big and just happened to miss, and Bronson catches him with, and that's a finish. But
I mean, look, instead of the stomp finishing him, I mean, you stomp him and then he kicks out of one there, and then he gets up and beats Rollins. I mean, you make a guy right there. Like I don't know. I feel like they left a little money on the table there with this guy, and not that he's buried or anything like that. Obviously, he's going to have plenty of chances still to get over. But to me, I think that it's definitely a missed opportunity for them.
And the only, not a big issue, but me and my like pet peeves, is Seth going up to give him a suplex, and then Bronson falls on top of him. He can't complete the suplex. You shouldn't kick out of that. I know that's not a finish in today's age, but if you go up to suplex a guy and you don't have the strength to turn him over and he falls right on, his entire body's on your upper torso, I don't think you should kick out of that spot. That's
Dude, I
just-
don't think a gorilla could kick out of that dude on top of you. Seriously.
No, he's huge. He's a big
He's a
motherfucker.
barrel, dude.
Yeah.
That's like Ty's spot pet peeve of the match.
There you go.
I usually give one every
I don't
go,
think he's
but-
anywhere close to the level, but I do get a little Bam Bam vibes with him. A little Bammer
He
vibes.
performed well. He
He did.
performed
He
well
did.
in that match with
Man,
Seth.
can
And
he
I'm not-
moonsault?
I'm not sure if he can moonsault.
Well, Bammer could.
No, I'm not
Well,
saying
he can't even jump for his splash, so I don't even know if he's going.
Bammer's like an all-time
Maybe off
guy.
the top of the cage, he might be able to moonsault.
I mean, Bam Bam to me is like a top guy
He's
all
greatest,
time.
dude.
Like,
Greatest big man ever.
the things that he could do in the ring, and I'm not trying to put him in
I
this
carried
category.
his ass in WCW.
on my ECW fantasy
Love you,
team.
man.
Just to let you
Oh,
know,
God.
there's another one on my ECW fantasy team. Just saying.
So Rollins finished him with the stomp, and then afterwards, Bronson just like got up and stared him down. So I think this program's still going to go on again. But I enjoyed this match. Did not like the finish. I'm going to go 3.5 stars on it. Ollie?
I'm going 2.5 because I thought the finish should have been the other way. If Bronson Reed won, I probably would have gave it 3.
Okay. Hack?
I'm going to go like 3.5 just because I think Bronson needs to be hit more to sell the way he sells.
Yeah, like when you're saying that too, like I grew up watching like Yokozuna, right? And for Yoko to finally start to sell, it was a progression of that match.
arms going,
He'd do the
his
wave,
body
right?
waving
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth. You got to hit him 5-6 times.
Right.
I think
Bronson
he did
did
that
it once. He's like on his knee.
He did a little of it, but I
They
know what you're
did that
saying.
one. Yeah, they did it one time where Seth hit him and he like did the wob. But I agree with your assessment. Like on the whole,
Right.
And it should be a progressive build, like you're saying, throughout the match instead of just one time in the beginning of the match, maybe, and then it doesn't happen again.
Right.
Because then it just looks out of place.
When he finally takes a bump, then you make it into a big moment.
Well,
like
and
I remember watching like Bret Hart work Yokozuna, and when Bret finally got him off his feet, it's just a big pop right there.
Dude,
'Cause
it's freaking the biggest pop of the night.
you worked your ass off just to get him off his feet, and Yoko could move too. Like
Yeah,
I mean,
he could.
Like he could really work. So I
Yeah, what did they do early where Seth got crushed and it was a great false? There was something right in the beginning of the match. There was a really good false. Like a great early false crushed Seth with something.
was it the tsunami? I mean, because he hit a tsunami and then he didn't.
Early?
He didn't cover him.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember.
It's lost.
it might have been when I was talking about where he tried to suplex him and he fell over on top of him because of it. Or no, he did crush Seth when he was trying to do like not a small package, but where he jumps over him and he's there and then he sat down on top of him.
that's what it was.
And he
Okay.
and he sat down on top and put all of his weight on him.
All
yeah,
of it.
Yeah.
It was a Nia Jax sit down.
What do you give the match, Ty?
3 stars. It was good. It wasn't great, like you said, but I thought Bronson definitely asserted himself to be able to work with like the
and
upper
I'm intrigued.
echelon
I'm
guys.
intrigued to see the next match
Oh yeah,
with what Bronson gave us in that match. So I want to see more.
yeah. I definitely want to see what's next for him. Up next on the show was Nia Jax taking on Liv Morgan for the Women's Crown Jewel title. So they made a huge deal about the Crown Jewel thing, the belts that they were presenting in the rings, and they said that it had like 3,000 some stones in there, and
It
they were
looked
like
big as shit.
So what's the deal exactly with that title? Is
They're
that gonna
staying
be-
there.
So the title stays there,
Yes.
and it gets defended whenever they go back.
yes, a Crown Jewel every
That's
year.
what I was wondering.
Well, and I like the premise because you're doing champion versus champion, and you're not going to do that in a regular show because it's whatever. But
well, because you get paid $50 million
but
from me.
Saudi's paying you to bring.
Sure, we're gonna
two
make this
champs.
belt. Yeah, we're gonna make a belt for you
But
guys.
Saudi's paying you to go over there, so you're going to have the top of the top guys. So you have less matches. You just put your champs together, and whoever wins gets the Saudi belt. It's like it's a win-win, and it's a nice premise because neither champ has to lose their belt; they just gain another.
Yeah, I
belt.
was-
And you-
Yeah, but all right. So, but if Cody loses his belt before the next time they go back there, is he still the Crown Jewel champion?
Oh, snap. All right.
I'm thinking he's the Crown Jewel champion of 2024.
Yes, Ty, you're right. It's
And
like
then
okay,
you got a
and
ring.
then- okay,
like
so-
the King of the Ring, like the
Yes.
Okay,
2024
gotcha.
Royal Rumble winner, or
Okay,
the
that makes a lot of
something
sense,
like that.
and that's cool for them to do. And I mean, it just only helps
They're
build their
giving
fan
rings
base
out.
more.
You get a ring now if you win this.
All right,
so,
there you. Well,
I mean,
that's a good thing to do about it. Then, so that's definitely a yearly thing. Then,
Yeah.
Right, you just have your top people go against each other, or
yeah,
whatever.
whoever the two champions.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the premise of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Within 2 years, you better believe there's going to be a Saudi Arabian champion of that thing.
Oh, well.
They'll get people, if they're smart, they'll get a home crowd dude there.
They should.
Jinder coming
tried-
back?
Yeah, right.
No,
yeah,
he's
right.
not. He's not from Saudi. He's.
I don't know. I thought he was. Oh,
They
was
had
he
Man-
Pakistan?
No, but it has to
They
be
had-
real.
they
You
had,
can't have
uh,
a fake one for this.
They had Mansoor, I think, was their guy that they had. I think is from there.
Yeah, we can't pull a Kofi Kingston.
No, they're
What's
dead.
Jinder? Pakistan?
Jinder's actually Canadian. Yeah, and I think he's Indian descent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's not.
I thought he was Saudi originally.
No.
Okay.
So this match, little weird layout of it because you got two heels in there, and I don't know if the Rhea Ripley injury played into any of this. Like, was she going to take the belt from Liv before this, or I mean, they already had this match booked prior, so I don't know. Or
Didn't they take her out on?
they did. They took her out on Raw like 2 weeks ago, or
Yeah.
NXT actually it was.
Well, I think maybe if she wasn't hurt, there might have been maybe some interference from her.
Definitely.
For maybe Liv to lose.
Okay.
Because it's like,
She shoot hurt?
Yes.
Yeah,
she has
okay.
an orbital injury, so
Oh,
she's going
at
to be
least
out
I
for a
think
while.
so.
I thought they said they gave her an orbital injury because they hit her with the bats. They took her out.
I think that's to sell for the real injury.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought that was like kayfabe.
But we're not
like,
asking you the work injury.
Yeah, like
Well, I can give you the storyline and
I figured they were like giving her a little time off, or
Yeah.
they were taking her out and saying she had an orbital because they were giving her a little time off. I thought, or something.
I thought this match, like, you're uphill sledding in this because you got a heel versus heel. I don't think the crowd was really invested in this early. They did start to get Liv involved because obviously it's only natural. And Hack, you kind of talked about this last week. It's like when you're in the ring, the crowd's just going to take to you, so you got to run with it. And obviously, with one person being the smaller person, that's like a natural babyface because you're fighting from underneath versus the bigger opponent. So,
If you set your match up correctly.
which they did. I mean, she was
Yeah,
doing the tilt-to-whirl
agreed.
things, and
Absolutely
even
agreed.
though Liv is,
Yo, Nia's good.
Nia is good.
Well, she's from the family, you know what I mean? She's got it up here, too, you know? And she's got attitude.
She,
I mean, you ain't screwing with that lady.
no, she's got a presence to her in the ring, and you know, some of her work. Like we hated the Bailey match last month when we talked about it because it was just off. But I did think that she was pretty good in this match, and some of her performances are really strong. Others are just but this was in the middle of the road for me here. I enjoyed this match. I thought it was decent work, but nothing crazy about it. I mean, did anything that jump out to you guys for this with the Tiffany
I didn't even
Stratton
make a
stuff?
note.
You didn't even have any notes. Yeah, it was kind of not that memorable to me. You had Tiffany Stratton involved, and then she's out, and then
I'm tired of that, too.
I was gonna say the same. I was
I'm
gonna
tired
say
of
the
that,
same
too.
thing.
they do these things with Money in the Bank and some of their breakups and their stuff. It plays out over too long of a period of time.
Okay. But back in the day when everybody didn't have a computer in their hand, there wasn't like immediate news and all this. You could get away with doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Their angles would be like when I first started, when they put me with Carlito and we did the thing with Ron Simmons and I spit beer in his face, he spit an apple in my face. I was like, Carlito, you know, if this goes good, this could last for 6 months. So we're going out there and doing nothing. We were doing a cane on a pole match. He goes, you got it, brother. So we're going out. We'll call it out there. We had our finish and we just called nothing out there.
Wow.
Because I'm thinking, why do I need to do anything right now? It's all going to be forgotten because I got a cane on a pole match. You know what I mean? I'm going to lose to his good finish, too. You know that one where he jumps on your back?
The backcracker.
Yeah. With a good finish. So I'm thinking that could run for 6 months. So neither one of us is in a hurry to do a goddamn thing.
Just you don't want to blow through your stuff because you're still saving it for later.
No,
Yeah,
and I thought the premise of Tiffany coming out in this one was actually like halfway decent because theoretically you don't know who she's going to cash on. Like she could cash out on Liv. So which I agree with you, Hack. I think it's gone too long. I enjoyed the premise of it in this aspect because there is 2 champions in the ring.
I did kind of forget about that point, but
No,
to
it's a
me,
good point,
it's
Ty.
still not.
So like she's like, no, I was cashing on Liv,
Right,
not you,
not you. We're
like,
still friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like I was so like that part I get. Like that's a good angle part of it. I agree with you. It's going a little too long. The match to me, there was no direction. It was all a lead up to Tiffany coming out. There was nothing. there was nothing from Belle to whatever until she came out, and then Dom came out, and then, Dom kind of fucked with the finish a little bit, throwing the briefcase in, the ref gets it, blah, 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 but it's like you said, like, there was nothing there. Like, there was no rhyme or reason.
Well, and this is like a match like we were just talking about with Bronson Reed, where it's like, obviously, Liv has to hit Nia with multiple things to get her down, and it's like, we didn't really...
She hit her with the finish, but that's about it.
See that, and it's like, there's no reason Liv should be able to give Nia Jax a tornado DDT.
Right.
Like,
At all.
I see too many moves now in wrestling where it's a bigger guy versus a smaller guy, and you have to be way more particular about the bumps that the bigger guy is taking for the smaller guy, because half of them, they suck at taking them, one, because they're not used to taking them.
Right.
And it's bad psychology.
No, I'm totally with you. How often is Nia Jax taking a tornado DDT?
And especially not from Liv Morgan. If it's Jade Cargill doing it, fine.
Believable.
Yeah. But Liv Morgan's what?
I mean,
that girl's the size there. I mean, what's the size difference? 200 pounds?
it might be close to that.
And 2 feet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Like,
he's got a great form.
I don't know. Liv started to work her knee in the beginning, and they just went away from it.
Right.
No, there wasn't really any work in the match. Like that kind of thing. I don't know. It was too much interference for me. It never really got going. You had a weird structure.
It was only 8 minutes.
I'm going 1 star for it. I did not really...
Yeah, I'll go 1.
And afterwards, how big was that belt on Liv, by the way? It was bigger than her. It was huge.
Way more than her.
I think the belt weighed more than her. It was a huge
Exactly.
belt.
So how is she going to give Nia Jax a DDT? She's barely
Hack, what do you give the
carrying
match?
a belt.
Shoot tears?
Don't get me on small people holding titles.
What do you give the match?
3.
Because you like Nia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ty.
1.
1. Yeah.
I like them both. It's just
It wasn't the right-
I
yeah.
think it's just useless psychology.
I think they were bad dance partners, and I think that
Nothing happened.
It was
Yeah.
the finish. The finish was everything. The match meant nothing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that match is set up to do.
Not only that, but I think this is one of the strange cases where it was a lose-lose. You
Totally.
can't... There's no way to really make... You can't have Lexa go over on Nia and Nia go over on Alexa. Like, I think it...
Liv, not Alexa.
Sorry, I'm thinking Alexa Bliss. Liv and Nia. Liv, I think they actually can get hurt by what happened in that match, depending on what you did in that match. Because Liv is supposed to be like this
Hated,
big,
absolutely hated.
yeah,
this
chicken shit.
this hated thing with Dom and everything, like the faction that she's got with Dom. Like, if she gets destroyed by Nia, she's got no credibility to be with Dom and run that whole faction that she's got going on. And Nia, just the size difference and everything that's going on there, she can't look bad. So I think that's why, like you said, kind of bad dance partners, and it was a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, but you got to understand the cultural difference between women in that society and women in our society. It's
Yeah, but we're
women there
talking-
just got to, in the last 10 years, are allowed to vote, are allowed to drive. 5 years ago, they couldn't leave their house without a man with them. You know what I mean? So the women in the crowd probably aren't like recognizing the muddledness of the whole situation.
Yeah.
No, but I also think that they kind of were with the four-way tag match to start, though. Like, I thought EO had the crowd up a little bit. I thought they had, the crowd going
I
a little
thought they
bit
were into that match.
until it ended up like kind of going down.
You're also at a point in the show. This is like the midpoint of the show where maybe it's a popcorn match, maybe it's
Right, yeah,
But it's
yeah.
also for this Crown Jewel title, so it should not be. But it never got going for me. This match, you got a weird setup for it anyway, so I didn't really care for it a whole lot.
Well, and I think they maybe could have got out of it if maybe Rhea Ripley wasn't hurt and you have like a screw over finish. I guess you can't have a DQ finish for the Crown Jewel title. Can you?
You got a
clean finish. Oh, that's another good thing. You know you're going to have a clean finish every Crown Jewel title.
I guess, yeah, you should. You should at least. I mean, hypothetically, but
They're just in a tough spot because both of their girl champions are heels.
yeah, not tough spot there. Up next on the show was supposed to be Randy Orton, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, what happened?
They kind of screwed people with this. So you advertise the match, you don't deliver on it.
I was excited to watch that.
So was I.
I mean, I'm sure everybody was.
I mean,
but
between that and the three-way, it was the two matches I was like most intrigued about to watch before the show. They never got the match going. They just brawled, heavy brawl around ringside.
They gave them their one table spot.
They gave him a table spot. You did a stunner to the ref, which was kind of cool, I guess. And then a bunch of people ran in. Jamie Noble, I did like to see him taking a bump. that popped me.
I didn't even notice that was Jamie.
You didn't notice?
No.
Yeah, it was Jamie
so what do you
Noble.
think? They're saving the match for a later pay-per-view?
They're saving it for Survivor Series, I guess, or, whatever.
I mean, I guess
whatever.
it makes sense.
I guess, but I mean, you're kind of screwing over people, people don't pay for the pay-per-views. You get them on Peacock, even though you pay $10 or whatever.
Or maybe they're just trying to give people a real teaser for Survivor Series, and
Yeah.
they're going to go
Yeah,
balls,
going
and
out
they're
the
going,
crowd and
they're
shit
going,
there.
and they're going balls to the wall. Survivor Series, maybe.
So, Hack, I mean, you've obviously been in this position before where, maybe you have an advertised match and you don't give them the match, but you give them something else. What? What are you going to say? What are you going to say?
We did that actually on the indie circuit, so it was huge, indie circuit news. No, it was supposed to be me versus Hack.
Oh,
You remember this, Hack?
Yeah, right.
Supposed to be me versus Hack. I forget what promotion it was or anything like that. Scotty was there, Raven.
wow.
So we set it up it was supposed to be me and Hack in a match, but it was hey, we devised this whole plan or whatever. I come out, I'm like, yo, Hack, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Hack does his music hit, and he's going around the crowd in a sweatshirt, hoodie over his thing, whatever, blah, 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 nonchalant. Everyone's like, where's he at? Finally gets in the ring, and it's basically Ty, I don't want to work you. You're my son, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, hey, listen, I'm trying to take down the big dog, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Scotty hits the ring, DDTs both of us, all this other stuff. That's it. We advertised this, huge Sandman vs. Son, huge thing. Drew, a huge, 100-person crowd. Or whatever the hell it was. And, people went home not liking it. So I completely understand where you're coming from.
No, it's if you advertise something to me, you should deliver it. But I know that there's booking decisions sometimes to kind of look.
People get injured.
People get injured. You might screw the fans a little bit to, hey, you're not going to get this match tonight, but we'll give you the brawl around the arena or something. So,
well, nothing. We were actually trying to do them a favor so they get people at their next show, trying to set up a me, Hack, Raven type
There
deal.
you go.
So
That's a
that
good
was kind of
program.
in our heads, we were yeah, this is great. We're setting it up for later dates, getting them better booking, but
yeah,
fell flat on its face.
Yeah, so I guess you're setting up this future match, and then they brought into the crowd. Then Owens put him on the table, and then went into the seats and jumped off to put Randy through it with a flying elbow, I think it was. So no match there. So that was that. Up next on the show was LA Knight, Andrade, your boy Hack, and Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title. You laugh, but Andrade's awesome.
He is my boy. I love
I'm
that
just laughing
dude.
because it's your boy.
He's his boy. I mean, the Hack has been
He's
Andrade.
great.
And to me, Andrade's a guy where it's
Hack was thinking I did a rod.
That's what I used to call him.
No. But Andrade to me, and LA Knight certainly charisma-wise absolutely as well, but Andrade to me is a guy where it's man, this guy's a top of the card worker to me, and presentation and everything. Look, this was a three-way match. How long did they go, Ollie? They go less than 10 minutes.
9 minutes, 10 seconds.
So yeah, this was a sprint.
Wow, it
But
felt longer than that.
I know. To me, it did too.
I liked a lot of the creativity of the spots in this match, and they really crammed a lot in that 10 minutes without looking like it was going too fast. So even though it was a short sprint, I really enjoyed this. I thought they had a lot of creativity in certain spots. Carmelo Hayes is somebody, at least on the main roster, you mention it a lot with a lot of guys, Hack, where it's just they're not that big. And Carmelo Hayes, especially in the ring with these guys, I'm like,
And he tried. He's not. His wife's taller than him.
I know, but Carmelo Hayes looked small in there.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
He looked small, but to be honest with you, I thought he made the match.
Dude.
I kind of he was the
was
straw
pretty
that
damn
stirred the
good.
drink. Like,
I thought he made the match.
Yeah, I thought his spots were really good, but just size wise, I'm like,
I mean, I agree with you.
I don't know if he's going to work.
Yeah, but it just doesn't matter because if you got people believing Liv Morgan tornado DDT and a 200-pound chick heavier than her, just size doesn't matter. It's like Ty's got his pet peeves. The size is just my pet peeve, but it apparently doesn't matter to the fans at all.
Well, no, and I say that to you all the time too, Hack. Like, we're in the day and age where, the most popular boxer was Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, and Conor McGregor ain't that big. And so, like, we accept it in real sports that you don't have to be a heavyweight to be a champion or to be a popular guy. So, but when you're mixing in wrestling, when you have all these different body types and everything, size to me still matters, Like, I've been watching AEW recently, and, like, Adam Cole in his return. And I'm like, man, he looks small. I'm like, I just...
Is Hack end to you? Is that what it is?
No, it's not.
End to you?
He's one of the guys I used to say was tiny.
No,
Is
but
that what that is?
He's not. It's just, I don't know. It's like, it's not always a deal breaker for me because, obviously, like, Bryan Daniels...
Well, Rey Mysterio. He had a
my-
heavyweight championship belt.
One of my
AJ
favorites ever.
Styles.
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian Daniels, you can be the little guy. I think your performance has to be above and beyond, though, to overcome
Way
that.
above and beyond.
Yeah, but this match, back to this match, I really enjoyed this. They were doing a lot of brawling. Andrade hit a Spanish Fly, which was always fun to see. Andrade and Hayes went up atop, and then LA Knight tried to go for that, like, Kurt Angle jump up suplex thing.
Which he normally fucking hits.
I
know.
He normally hits that, I would say, like, 98%
I've never seen him
of the
miss
time.
it.
Yeah, I've seen him hit it maybe once before, but I would say 98% of the time, and he just missed that. So do you think that's because there was two guys up there? Like, Hack, do you think that maybe played a role in it? Like,
there's like a million different things.
It looked to me... So when he normally does that, I feel like...
The guy's bent over more,
Well,
and there's a little more room to get up there.
Well, not only that, he's also favoring one side of the turnbuckle, and in this aspect, Andrade really couldn't. So, if you watch it, LA Knight tries to leap to the right, his right of him, and he doesn't get it, but when he normally does it, he has more space to land both of his feet, and he couldn't really necessarily get both of his feet on there. So I feel like that's kind of why it botched. I mean, the spot was still awesome.
and then, what bothered me about it is he fucking hits his balls
And no-sells it.
And no-sold it, and it's like, you talk about this all the time, Hack, where it's like, if something happens, go with it, and
And then get back to it.
Right, instead of going with the sell, he then immediately no-sells that and does the spot. So I was like, that threw me out a little. That's my nitpick of the match.
Tell me what you think. He had to.
Great logic right there, Hack. There you go.
That's your Bobby Braid answer, you know what I mean?
No, but Hack, my theory on that is you got two guys sitting on the top rope. You don't really have a choice to no-sell that. Like, you kind of gotta go.
You would think.
There's no real, like, adjustment. Like, you got two guys sitting there waiting, like, he's selling his balls, and it's like, I mean, I guess you could, like, trade back and forth on the
Yes,
turnbuckle.
you two
and, like,
start trading till he unsells his balls. There you
right,
go.
And
That's
then
your
get
out.
up. But, like, I guess maybe he's thinking, like, dude, I got two guys standing up there. Like,
Yeah, and then just sell your ball. Let them to have those two should have started trading, and then fucking let him sell his balls, go do the spot, but go back to selling your balls again.
There you go. Yeah.
Right, climb
That's
up
it.
instead of just jump up, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. That jumped out to me. There was a lot of cool stuff towards the end. Carmelo Hayes hit the nothing but net on LA Knight, and then Andrade broke it up. The crowd was going pretty nuts for this match.
Yeah, they should have liked it.
No, I mean,
It was action packed.
It was action packed. It was actually a really good placement in the card for this match too. At this point,
To get the crowd back up again.
yes, before the main event.
I like a couple of the double covers in the match.
I like
because you
that,
actually
too.
don't see that often. And Corey Graves put it over a good way about, like, what's better than bragging, saying that you beat both of them and you cover both of them at the same
I
time.
did like that.
Yes.
When
Yeah,
he
so
said
he
that.
That's a
put it
great
over.
point, Ollie. And then there was LA Knight came in. He hit the BFT.
Phenomenal
Great
finish.
It was like mid-air timed. It was
Phenomenal finish.
It was like perfectly timed by him.
It went along perfectly with the entire, like, the timing in the match and the flow of the match. I thought was awesome, and I think they're listening to the podcast because, like we say normally in our three-way dances, there was no one guy powder. There was no, one guy out, two guys in. Like, they kept everything super tight together in the like. They went
The
outside.
timing was good.
Yes.
Yeah, they went outside for like a half a second or whatever they did. They might have did one spot outside, but everything was inside the ring. They were all right there, and every spot led to another. Like, even like the improvisation of, they're in between spots, and Carmelo or somebody just goes over to the one guy in the corner, gives him a punch just to make sure he stays down again, and then walks over and leads into the next spot he has with the other guy. Like, just that little feel that all the guys had inside the match in the three-way, which is tough because you can look stupid selling for too long or doing something you're not supposed to, and other guys are shining. I felt like they kept everybody involved in the match. The timing was great. The finish was phenomenal. So kudos to them.
That's one of my favorite finishes that I've seen, like, recently in a good while.
Yeah, he came out and went for
Perfect timing.
like a tilt to whirl, like tornado DDT or come up, and LA catches him for, I don't know what his finish is called, but
BFT.
Yeah, catches him like right in sync for the BFT. Perfect.
Yeah.
Did you say the BLT?
the BFT?
No, the bacon, fart, and tomato. Yeah, that's
There you go.
what you got. Yeah.
That's yours. That's your
Yeah.
version of it, Hack.
Yeah, my grandson's new comment to everything is "what the fart," which you know what he's really saying. Kid's 4 years old, says it 20
He was
times
over
a day.
here the other day. I thought he was letting that loose. I was about to be like, "Yo!" But he said, "What the fart?" And I'm like, "Oh man."
Take it easy.
Yeah. For the match, though, I thought it was fun. Didn't have the chance to get to a great level of a match. I'm going to go 3.5 stars for it. Ollie?
Yeah.
You're like right on that line. You're like, am I going 4 for it?
Yeah, you know what? I am going 4 for
yes,
it.
I talked about
I am
it
going
before.
4 for it because the only hitch in the match was the LA Knight situation.
That's why I'm
And
not.
I don't even care about that because that shit happens.
Okay. Hack?
It's probably the best match on the card, so I gotta go like a 4.5.
Okay.
I think it was easily the best match.
We'll talk about the main event here next. Ty?
5-star match for me.
Wow, he's going 5 stars for it. Oh my god.
It's a great match.
It was.
It was fun.
Listen,
Dude, I didn't write a note. I just sat there and watched because I didn't want to stop it and write the note.
Listen, you got a 3-way with great timing. Nobody looks stupid. There's no downtime. There's no lag. And how long did you say the match
10.
was?
9 minutes, 10 seconds.
Dude, and I don't think it was rushed.
No.
Anything that they did, I don't
Like
think
me
was
and you
rushed.
both thought it was longer than that.
Yeah,
Because
I
we
didn't-
were entertained.
Right.
It was a
I was
sprint.
entertained. I didn't think it was rushed. I thought everybody got their spots in. I thought there was great false finishes. There was great reversals. Everything flowed perfectly.
And the finish.
And the finish was phenomenal.
Right.
Listen, you ain't got to put together.
If the
all
finish
these-
isn't so good, I can't give him a 4.5. You know what I'm saying? Honestly.
Right, but everything that they did that led up to that, and it was a phenomenal shout out AJ Styles, phenomenal finish. Like, dude, a 5-star match is a 5-star match. To me, it doesn't have to be like a Will Ospreay 1,000 great spot,
Agreed,
whatever.
totally.
If you're doing what you're supposed to do and the match makes sense and everything goes without a hitch, minus the LA Knight,
And I would
botch,
and I would think that there's not much freewheeling going on in that match. Not much at all. It was probably set spot for spot for spot.
No, and like I said, I don't think Carmelo got like a shit ton of offense in that match, But the way he was pinballing
He
back and
shined,
forth,
though.
yeah,
He
he
shined
shined, and I
somehow.
don't even think
He
he
did.
got any offense in the
Yeah,
match.
but he shined.
He had his one big leg drop off the top, but other than that,
Yeah.
his selling was awesome. He was there for every spot. Like I thought he shined in that match. That match was awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely fun stuff there. Up next on the show was the main event. This was Cody and Gunther for the men's Crown Jewel title, and the crowd was going wild for this before they even locked up. So, again, I know I made mention of it at start here. This was like the most into any of the shows that I can remember a crowd being for one of these Saudi shows, and they certainly were just really into Cody and Gunther here. You do have a face-heel structure that's pretty standard in this match. This was all about Gunther trying to lock on his choke, his sleeper on Cody, and working it at different points. How do you guys feel about this sleeper being the finisher for Gunther? Like, is it credible to you, Ali? Do you like it as a finish? Or do you wish he had, like, the rolled with the powerbomb? Because he's really been just...
That was his finish before, right? Was
Yeah.
the powerbomb? I like the powerbomb better. I might... Maybe depending on the opponent
Right.
is which one you bring out.
That's a good point too.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure like who or what or where or when, but you can go with both, obviously, because he's a bigger dude and you want to make him seem obviously like ruthless and aggressive, not ruthless aggression. But yeah, I mean, I don't really mind it, but I mean, people now have multiple finishers, so
True.
I think you can go with both. It's just timing and place and how you do it.
Now, Hack, correct me if I'm wrong about this. They say a great finish in wrestling is something that you can do to any opponent, right? That's what you got to be able to apply it to anybody. And you could do the sleeper to anybody.
And the sleeper's just not believable to me. That's the reason I was the Sandman, and I'm like, no, not doing a sleeper. I don't believe in it. And that was, you got to remember, dude, this is like 1990.
Right.
You know what I mean? 1989 or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm not doing a sleeper.
Which,
I couldn't believe in it.
the sleeper was Piper's finish. You know?
Whatever, but I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's a non-believable move to me.
I mean, I think if you sink it in like a choke, like the way Joe does, Samoa Joe uses a sleeper. If you do that, like
Over your naked choke,
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's not just this half-ass like shit where you're like, you got your one hand covering his one ear, your other hand covering his other ear. You know what I mean?
you really can put somebody out with a sleeper, like
Absolutely.
legitimately. Like you be sleeping if you threw it on right.
Yeah, you
you
ever
get
seen
on-
Big Daddy?
Yeah, you put it right under the chin. Like it is legitimate, but I don't know. It's my nitpick, I guess.
See, the thing is I actually really liked it in this match.
Okay.
The thing with, because he was working it, like
Gunther's good.
Gunther's really good.
He was
Needs
working.
the bump better,
he was
but yeah.
working it. Yes, but he was working it. Like there was a setup to getting to it. It's not like, hey, he just got him in a sleeper and like that was it. Like that started from the very beginning of the
He
match.
went right away for
To
it.
ending up to his crux at the end.
Right. And
Yeah.
he worked it in the middle of the match. And then he worked it, right at the end of the match. I love how he worked in this match. Now, like you're saying, like, can it be for anyone? He got Randy Orton in the sleeper pretty quick, if I'm not mistaken. I know Randy kind of fought
That
back
wasn't
once
long.
or twice, but I think they did a great job. This is champion versus champion. He's not supposed to submit Cody quick.
Yeah, it's a
He's-
chess
Cody,
match,
yeah,
dude. This is
Cody's
the
not
ultimate
supposed
chess
to fall
match.
to that.
It had a
So-
big fight feel to it, I think.
Yeah,
right. So
absolutely.
I feel like
Yeah.
That's good work.
I feel like they portrayed the sleeper in the match very well for a champion versus champion, and it started from the very beginning. And like you said, Hack, it was the crux at the end, which I didn't.
Makes such sense.
I didn't love the finish, but I understood. I understood and I appreciated the finish because the way the match started and the way the match went, throughout its
But what was
entirety.
Cody going for on that
The
finish?
cutter. He was going for the Cody cutter.
The stunner cutter.
Cody cutter.
Yeah, he was
I
going
never
for like
seen
the
it
big,
off the top rope.
Oh, he's done it. Yeah.
Off the top. Okay,
Yes.
I never seen
Yeah.
it.
So he was doing the one, like he did the one earlier off like the middle
The one where
rope or
Gunther's
whatever.
head never came near the.
Yeah, it was like 2 feet from the mat. Yeah,
I enjoyed the work in this match. To me, it had really good pace,
Old school.
and it was old school.
I
So
loved the start of the match.
it reminded me of like a I don't know, like a house show main event kind of thing. And I don't mean to like belittle the work in it, but like it was like paced and timed.
That's all you need for that crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That crowd's they're coming in their pants, freaking. I don't know if you're allowed to do that in Saudi Arabia, but.
or on their
But they had guys fighting outside the freaking barriers. You know what I mean? That's like way over the top for that civilization over there.
Yeah.
So, dude, a nice freaking 1990s freaking main event for a house show. You called it perfectly.
And I like Gunther's offense is very it's
Plain.
but it's tight. Like he does a lariat, a
He's
sleeper.
very credible.
And everybody loves his chops.
His chops are awesome.
He's
Well, dude, he
over
hits
with
you
the
with your whole
chops.
forearm, with his whole forearm,
and that's
dude.
why I like the sleeper for
Okay,
him.
it works with
Like
him.
it.
To me, I only
How
brought
is
it
he
up
going?
because
He can't powerbomb everybody.
right. That's what I said. Finisher.
Well,
got
he got
everybody.
Yeah,
frustrated
it's like if you're
enough
gonna-
and
if you're
power
gonna-
bombed him and got a
If
false
you-
out of it.
Yeah, well, and if you're gonna do like kind of like a smaller guy who he can power bomb, do the power bomb into the sleeper.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Put him out right there. Yeah.
Right, you're giving him another option. It's like Cody with the cutter. When he goes for the pin after the cutter, it's like his secondary finish, kind of.
Yes.
You know, like the power bomb is kind of that. It's like, okay, power bomb. Oh, he kicked out. All right, sleeper.
Yeah.
You know, like you're done. Like, but I like it. It fits his work style. So it makes sense. It makes sense for me, and I think they portrayed it great in this match. And as long as you keep portraying it the way that you're supposed to portray it, depending on the opponent, then I think it'll get over.
Yeah. So like you were saying, Hack, Cody went for a cutter, and then he was countered into a sleeper, and then Cody rolled up on him and cradled him for the pin. So a cradle for the pin, you kind of like, it's not a banana peel, but it's like, oh man, you got me. Like, and to me, you wanted to book this match to keep credibility no matter what, right? And I don't think Gunther lost any credibility. It's only
Gunther can't against Cody Rhodes.
It's
Cody Rhodes, dude.
It's only his second loss on the main roster for Gunther. He's only lost to Sami Zayn otherwise. He has never lost otherwise.
Oh, Sammy!
Yes,
Sammy!
Sammy.
Right?
Yes, it's only the second job he's done since he's been up there. So he doesn't look worse for wear for it. You're teasing a lot of stuff down the road with maybe him and Punk, and I think who was in? Didn't they do like a match for the number one contender too? Also in Raw. I'm trying to
Oh
remember.
yeah,
They're doing a bunch of guys to set up for it. I think.
Yeah, it was something like
So
that.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
100% sure.
Do you have an issue with Cody being the one to go over in this match? Like Cody's their guy right now. He's like,
No, I expected it.
Right.
Fully, 100% expected it. I thought Gunther had zero chance whatsoever.
And I guess I kind of did too, where it's like, and like I said at the start, with some of the predictability with this booking, it's like, Cody's title run. I think some of the matches, obviously the Styles match, really, really good, and I really like this match too. So I'll go with my star before we get into this, but some of the booking. But I'm going 4 stars for this match. Like it was credible, it was paced right, it was crisp, and they didn't have any hitches in the match at all. Was it the greatest match I've ever seen? No. It was basic work, but you think there were some hitches? You got a little...
Not a little hits, but Ty's what did I
Your
call
pet
it
peeve?
before?
Yeah, your
Ty's
pet
pet peeve of the match.
TPP.
Can you guess it?
I'm trying to think over the match now to try to think what would piss you off. I don't know. What is it?
Cody's going to give him a suplex and sells his back like he can't possibly get him up for a suplex. And then tries to give him a suplex again, can't possibly get him up for a suplex. And then he does all these things to him, and then he's holding him square inside the ring for like 15 seconds up in the air, and then he does a superplex off the top rope.
It's wrestling.
And Ty's pet
peeves.
Ty's
too.
pet peeve in the match.
You can't just blanket throw it's wrestling
I
out there.
did. Well, Paulie would do it to me, and so would who was the booker in Puerto Rico? That would
Dutch
do it?
Mantel?
Yeah, what happened?
It's just wrestling.
What happened to Paul's company?
There you go. Ollie.
Exactly.
Yeah. Too many logic gaps.
Ty greater than Paul Heyman credibility wise.
Greater than sign.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's just my pet. Like, you're selling your back that early in the match for no apparent reason.
And he
then-
fired back way too late too. If you really want to get to it, late in the match when he's getting the shit beat out of him, and then Gunther goes in and paintbrushes his face with some cheap fucking smacks, and all of a sudden Cody's like Superman. That's wrestling.
He's Hogan, yeah.
No, I know.
he's- yeah.
I just hate selling a body part and then doing things that you clearly
Selective
can
selling.
able to.
Yeah.
That you need that body part for.
Yeah, like you're clearly you using a body part that you can't possibly use for a move when you didn't even really need to do that. Like, and then you go throughout the whole match. Ty's pet peeve spot of the match.
All right, since you're pet peeving, what's your star on it anyway?
End of the day, I'll give it a 4-star.
Okay.
I'll give it a 4-star. I didn't love the finish, but like when I think about it, it was like a 3-part finish and all on the same move, and I actually ended up liking
It was
it
credible.
better than I had because it was a cutter, and then it was a sleeper, and then it was a roll up for the finish. Like, I thought they separated the 3. Like, they gave the crowd a oh.
Yes.
You know, like it wasn't just a roll up all in one. Like it was like he didn't get it. Oh, he's got the sleeper. Oh, it's a roll up.
Yes.
Like I thought, after I looked at it again, I thought it was very, very good. And I really loved the start of the match, the whole process. I give it a 4.
There you go. So he's with me. Ollie, what do you give it?
3.5.
3.5?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it was good, solid, but like you said, it was nothing spectacular.
Nothing
and not that I'm
spectacular.
expecting anything spectacular, but just 3.5, solid as it gets.
Hack, you're going 4? Straight 4 with it?
Yep.
Afterwards, they gave Cody the gigantic belt, the ring. They had Triple
Hated
H.
Gunther going over to him.
Gunther goes over to him.
Hated that. I hate
You
that.
hate a handshake. I love a
I
handshake.
fucking hate
I
that.
don't
Good
like-
sportsmanship, man.
I don't like it for Gunther's character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because he's supposed to be like this mean, like kind of like badass kind of dude, so I would have kept him away from doing that.
It's actually a very good point, Ollie, that you say that, because in the middle of the match, Gunther like taunts him like 2 or 3 different times, like playing to the crowd. So if anything, Gunther probably should have like offered his hand out
And
been
took
like,
it away,
and
been
took
like,
it away.
like you just got me on a bad night.
No,
Right.
Yeah,
You
like
got me on a
no, like
roll-up.
you gotta
Yeah.
be, and who knows if like Saudi asked for that or you know.
Yeah, I don't
weird
think
shit.
so. How
I
about
mean,
just you stare him down
but-
for a second as you're walking out the
No,
ring?
There you go.
Yeah.
And you leave a little bit. You leave breadcrumbs for the future.
Just get near him, stare at him, and just as you're walking this way, your head turns this way more as you're walking out, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I agree.
Overall, though, this show to me, it wasn't bad, but because again, you're doing the shorter.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. And to me, this was kind of just like a run-of-the-mill pay-per-view. If I were to say, like, oh, you got to go back and watch it, I don't know if there's any matches on this show that you, like, have to check out. To me, it's just an okay pay-per-view. I don't know. What do you think, Ollie, of this one?
I mean, it's okay. It's okay, like you said. I mean, nothing great. I mean, the best match to me was the 3-way.
Easily.
But yeah, I mean, they had okay matches on it. So I mean, it's just. I mean, I think it's probably their best Crown Jewel show to me that they've done.
It's one of the better
Or
Saudi
yeah,
shows.
or one of the better ones, and especially with the crowd starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the next one looks like. But I mean, it was okay, I guess.
Has
solid.
anybody bled in Saudi Arabia yet?
Well, Bronson Reed had, I think it was a little hard way above his eye.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
Carmelo had something on his elbow too.
Yeah,
but I don't think it was.
Well, they WWE has not gotten back to blade jobs until recently, like Punk, and I think that was like the last time. I don't know, but like I can't imagine that they would be down with like a bloodbath. I don't anticipate any like hell in the cells there. What did you think of the show overall, though, Hack?
I'd give it like a 7.
Okay,
Out of 10.
7 out of 10. All right, Ty.
Were you looking for a rating out of 10 for me?
Whatever you want to give it.
yeah.
Hack just threw that out
You
there.
can
We don't normally
say a C out of the
Yeah.
whole alphabet.
whatever you whatever
I
you
mean,
want.
out of 10, I would say like a 3.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. 4. I think I would go 4. 3.
Fine. Yeah, 4.
All right.
Oh man, Cody Rhodes was on it.
Yeah,
It's like we could have The Rock on the show
Yeah,
instead of that beast Cody.
Yeah, I still think Roman should have won at
Ty's
WrestleMania.
boy.
so.
Ty's boy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of par for the course for them on their pay-per-views. For me, it's just lackluster.
A little lackluster.
It's
right?
just lackluster work. It's I don't know. I'm not expecting more out of the whole Bloodline feud, but like that work is just I don't know. I expect their pay-per-views to not be that good. I mean, am I the only one? I don't
I'm with
expect
you.
their
I don't
pay-per-views
expect it to be like something
their-
great.
Like their storylines are clearly better than AEW, but the work is
Yeah.
Well, no, the work's AEW, the storyline's WWE.
Yeah, and that's what
That's basically it.
yeah, that's what it is. It's not something I didn't expect, to be honest with you. You know?
Well, next month they're going to Vancouver for Survivor Series, and we as a show, we are going to have a special reporter on the scene.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground in Vancouver. Our official Canadian correspondent, Chris, our boy that we met at WrestleMania weekend, will be our official correspondent for the show outside of Survivor Series. So we are all excited to see what he cooks up for you guys, and excited for Survivor Series next month. Cannot wait to drop a lot of stuff on social media about Survivor Series.
Chris, if you're listening in, send us in like a question or a comment or something. Give us like a little synopsis of like what your plan is, what's going on.
He's telling me he has an outfit picked out, a reporter outfit, that he does not.
Like a Ron Burgundy, because he definitely is like a Ron Burgundy
that he
clone
does
a
not.
little bit.
He wants to surprise us with because he's going to pop
Okay,
us.
all right.
So for credibility, get the fake Dom headphones. You can buy them on.
Friend of the show.
So you're going to need that for credibility. Obviously, you're going to need something for a microphone. And all we're asking is a quick 5 minutes with like Cody Rhodes or Roman or one of those dudes.
Yeah,
That's
or
all.
Sami Zayn for hack.
Or maybe a couple fans outside the arena is what he's going to be doing. He's
Hey,
also,
listen, that guy found his way into a couple precarious places. I wouldn't put it past him to
He's-
get himself into a...
He's also
Just tell
gonna,
your story.
he's also going to have a lot of his party favors as well. So
He's going to walk a lot of green grass
a
along the
lot
way.
of green grass in Vancouver there. So we're excited, Chris. For friend of the show,
I
Chris.
forgot that he said that in Philly.
So that next week on the show we are covering. Forget about selective selling because none of that was taking place here. November to Remember '94 hack. This was an infamous angle in your career.
All right, back to the Stone Age, baby.
We're going back to the Stone Age. Hack's rocking a suit that looks like you got it at Value City when you sent me that picture the other day. That cannot wait.
Shout out to you who know what Value City
That joke
is.
did
dude.
not get over with anybody else outside of this room.
$1,500 Pierre Cardin.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry for hating on your suit here. Wow, Hack. I didn't
suckered you into that. You
It's a $15 Pierre Garcon.
All right. Next week.
Forgotten about NFL running
Yes.
time receiver.
That's a good bust out name there, Ty. We were covering November to Remember '94 next week, so excited for that show, especially with
I
the
was a
blood.
beast.
You were fantastic.
Definitely heavy.
Definitely heavy. There was no selective selling with your
Bestiality, maybe.
Oh God, bestiality. Oh my God. All right, guys. As always, send in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. First up is Eric from Scotland.
All right,
Yo,
Eric from
Scotland.
Scotland.
There we go.
Freedom!
I want to blow some wind up your skirt.
Okay. There you go.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Here we go. His question, and I'm sorry because this is spoiler alert. Please, for the love of God, is there any chance we see Hack at the ECW Arena for NXT this Wednesday? No, sorry, that didn't happen, Eric.
Because we're doing the day after right now.
Yeah. That did not happen.
And Van Dam didn't want to see me anyway. Hurt my feelings.
Van Dam did not want to see Hack. Here we go. Is Mike from Northeast Philadelphia. Grew up in Delco, Ardmore, Havertown. All right.
All right, Mike.
All right, Mike.
All right, Mike.
We're by the Lowe's.
Hey, yo, new listener to the show, but old school OG ECW fan. My first live ECW arena show was when Worlds Collide in '94 and went through the end. I missed out on TWA shows, but wanted to know more info on the Tom Robinson independent show that took place in Drexel Hill in 1990. Who was Tom, and how did the show come about?
Seriously, dude?
You have no idea who Tom
I remember
Robinson.
the name, but a Delco show?
Yeah, there was
Drexel Hill, you
Drexel
said.
Hill. I wonder if it was at.
Was it at Bonner?
It might have been at Monsignor Bonner. Yeah, it could have been.
Well, that was me and JT. We opened up the show. I bled, used the ladder. What year did he say?
90.
90.
Okay,
That
I'm
adds
using
up.
a ladder in 90. I used the ladder in that match at freaking Bonner.
At Bonner
Yeah.
with JT Smith.
Hey, nobody used a ladder before me.
You're welcome, WWE.
I've seen ladders previously. in
No,
the
you
80s.
haven't.
Yes, I have. They did one in Stampede. Bret Hart had a ladder.
What year?
In the 80s, early 80s.
Stampede was WCW, so it couldn't have been early
No,
80s.
Stampede was the wrestling company in Calgary and Edmonton.
Oh, I thought you were saying, didn't they have a pay-per-view called
Spring
Stampede.
Stampede.
That's what
Okay.
triggered you there. But no, I've seen ladders involved
Bret
previously.
Hart,
But
he ain't got shit on me. dude.
That guy was fixing a light bulb using a ladder.
okay.
That wasn't, you know.
yeah, Hack invented it in 1990 with JT Smith and Drexel
Didn't
Hill.
you hang off like the rim,
Yeah,
the basketball
the
rim?
basketball
and
rim.
hung
then
off the rim?
Yeah, he gave him a leg drop or something.
off like the basketball rim.
Yeah,
in
I jumped
Monsignor
up,
Bonner.
grabbed the two hands. Well, I slammed my snot rag out of my back pocket in the air.
2
I
points.
got up in the air. I was doing my wait. Who was our running back this weekend?
Or
Saquon?
Yeah, I was doing my Saquon
Your reverse hurdle?
spread egg slam. Pulled the snot rag out under the leg, through the net, held on, and then leg drop JT.
There you go. It's all right, Tom. I hope that answered your question. Also, Hack, are you familiar with Schlack, and what's your opinion of him? Do you know Schlack?
That sounds familiar.
Schlack's a big deathmatch wrestler. He's from the Philadelphia area. So
No,
he's
I have no
currently-
idea who he is.
He doesn't. Hack's not a big indie guy, so he's not going to know of Schlack. But
We just
obviously,
did a show with Joey Janela, who he's met, I think, a couple times and had no idea.
he
so.
did not know Joey until prior. But hey, shouts out Joey. He knows you now, and he loves you now. And
Joey was great.
yeah, just Schlack's a cool. I got to show you a picture of Schlack. He's a beast, man. He's a crazy motherfucker. So
Was that the show that you went to, the WrestleMania weekend? When
no,
you were at the
that
bar?
was no, that was a bar show. That was not. That was not.
All right.
It was interesting, but it was not that show. Up next is Drummy from Bryan Street Tavern.
All right, Drummy. Renewed the tab last week, right?
Yeah, he's got. Hold on, here we go. Yo, happy Thong Thursday, Sandy and crew. He's always talking about Thong Thursday. I don't know what Thong Thursday means.
Is that what it is?
No,
Is
because you never
is
been
that
to
what it is at the
Jacksonville.
tavern?
I guess.
On Thursday?
Thong Thursday.
Some people got karaoke's, they got thongs.
He's got thongs. Hope you guys enjoyed Crown Jewel. It's my favorite event of the year. What?
Hey, dude, it's the first one, isn't it?
They've only had a couple.
It's only November.
Whose favorite pay-per-view is Crown Jewel? Like a historical. I could see you saying the Rumble or Mania or something. That's a weird
He's
one.
been listening to too much Cisco. That's
Well,
what it is.
consider we just gave it an average of like a 5
Yeah,
out of
I
10.
don't know, Drummy.
And I had the high of 7.
Yeah, I don't know. If you could work in any country nowadays, what would you pick and for what reason? So if you could work in any country as a wrestler,
What do you mean, what would I pick?
what country?
Which country would
which
you pick?
country would
Like-
you want to wrestle in?
Right here.
You're saying America.
I've been everywhere.
Okay, I didn't know if you want to go somewhere that you've never been before, or
I mean, maybe I
China or something, or some.
Nah, do not want to go to China.
Okay, all right. I don't
They'll
know.
arrest me because I got 10 pens on me. And I'll end up like Brittany Griner in Russia.
And a banana peel, apparently. Remember?
Okay.
They'll Brittany Griner me China in a
God.
second.
What about Japan?
Nah, I've been all over Japan.
No, I'm saying like, would you want to like work there? Like maybe
if I was
one more
going to do
like,
if I had another match, I would want it in the Tokyo Egg Dome.
There you go. So
100,000 people.
New Japan, hit us up. January 4th.
Bomb explosion.
Yeah, him and
Yeah, live
Onita.
pod, baby,
Hack and
live
Onita, live pod. Hack and Onita.
We
will
only need
finally get the
7
match.
first class tickets.
Onita, friend of the show,
Yes.
friend of the show,
Friend of the
Onita.
show, close personal friend, Onita. Yes, absolutely. Drummy also says, P.S. Please let me know when you get a window when you all can come to the tavern. First 1 or 4 are on me.
Or 400 apparently.
Where's the tavern?
He's at Drummy's Tavern, Bryan Street. I don't know. He said he's at the tavern.
Bryan Street's
We're gonna
over.
break. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's the
Drummy's
same Bryan Street.
Yeah, so
we find Drummy's Tavern.
we're gonna have to go to Drummy's Tavern and get a couple.
We can
on
walk
you.
there right now. Look,
was it
live
Craig's?
pod,
Is it
live pod
Craig's?
with Drummy.
I know, it's a
Craig's
Craig's.
Tavern. All right, Craig's.
yeah.
Shout out to Craig's
Shout
Tavern.
out to Craig's.
Another fan.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
There
Friend
you
of the
go.
show.
You're getting on.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, you're getting on.
Up next is Inbred Ed from Shinston, West Virginia.
Hell yes.
Brian, who knew? Jewish Tosh might become a character now. You learn something new every day. I'm not Jewish. No disrespect, L'chaim, to all my Jewish brothers out there. But I am not. I am Catholic. Joseph is my confirmation name. So,
What is your last name?
dude, we went over this last week.
Oh, we did?
My last name is Tosh.
Oh, that's right.
Dude, you've known me now. Like, I've literally been coming over your house
Who's
for like,
Brian?
for 2 years, and you don't know my name. Like
You know your name? I call you Tosh. I don't call you fat dude that's showing his gut right now. That's busted out of his butt.
You don't even
on
have a
his
shirt
denim
on right
jacket.
now.
Why'd you think you were calling him Tosh? What was that?
nickname?
I thought it was a nickname, totally.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Totally was a
Yeah,
nickname.
I'm Brian W. Tosh.
I say
and-
my name literally every week. It's the first thing I say.
All right, so last week Hack learned your first name,
Yes.
and now Hack
What?
Next week, I won't know your first name.
Okay. There we go.
So people don't feel offended if you
No.
ask Hack.
Honestly,
Have we
I
met
probably
before?
wouldn't have known Brian.
No, that's okay.
You can say, but I try not to listen to you as much as possible. I tell
God.
you that every week.
I am your host, man. You got to listen to me. He says, he says, I enjoyed the Halloween Havoc review. Like the high praise towards Michael Hayes. He gets a bad rep for not being a worker, but disagree on that too. Did you have any interaction with Hayes during the ECW WWE run? Good or bad stories? The younger generation has no clue how crazy over he was in the early to mid 80s. A true rock star pioneer in the biz. And
Oh, dude, Michael was a. Well, put it this way: he's in there with Roberts, dude. You got Michael, and you got Gordy, right?
Yes.
Who's doing the work out of them? You know what I'm saying?
Gordy.
Well, Gordy could work his ass off back then too. You know what I mean? Before his brain went on him, but Michael was like the bumper. Roberts was the dude that would take a pin, kind of like the Four Horsemen when Arn would always take a pin. You know what I mean?
He's there to eat the
Yeah,
loss.
but Michael could work his ass off back in the day. You know what I mean? And as you get older, you obviously work. You use your brain more and you work less. But he got to the point of he was head booker for SmackDown. The last time I was there the first day he got it, and it was like a weird vibe in the locker room or something. But he wasn't in control of me at all, so I really didn't have anything to do with him.
so who was booking ECW at the time when you were there? Like the sci-fi
I
show?
got everything from John. I would just go to Johnny.
So you wouldn't even know who's booking ECW directly?
I had no idea. I would just go to Johnny. What am I doing?
Okay. So when you said
He was always like, "Let me find out."
when you said there was a weird vibe when Michael got the book of SmackDown.
Yeah, because it was I don't know, because there was like Malenko was there, Arn was there. I'm trying to think. Jimmy, who's the guy that fired
Jimmy
me?
Steamboat.
Yeah,
Ricky
him,
Steamboat.
Jimmy Steamboat. I never
I can't believe
remember
you don't
his
know Ricky Steamboat's
Good old
name.
Jimmy
I
Steamboat.
can't
Screw it
I
up.
can't be offended if he doesn't know my name when he doesn't know Ricky Steamboat's
That's what I
name.
just said. People,
Yes,
listen.
yes.
Don't be offended.
No, I'm not at all.
I'm an idiot.
I'm not. So
I know, like,
but-
this isn't a work.
It was like it was like there was an excitement about it.
okay.
And he changed his wardrobe that day or the next day. He was suit and tie from then on. He wasn't like casual, like a collared shirt, and you could wear these like freaking slippers, black slippers and slacks. You know what I mean? He went right to his suit after that, and he changed his. It was like. It's like you barely knew Michael was there, you know what I mean? Because he was an agent, but once he went to the head of SmackDown, it was a totally different Michael.
Interesting.
I mean, do you have any interaction with him
No,
at
because
all? or-
he didn't care about me. I was ECW.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but you've
SmackDown.
talked to a lot of people in the back or whatever that
dude,
you
but
never
but
really...
there, it's so big there, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
And he's got so
yeah.
much shit he's got to worry about.
Okay. Up next.
But I never had a problem with him.
No heat or anything. No,
That you know of.
And
No, he was one of the boys.
Okay.
Michael was totally one of the boys.
even as an agent.
Yes, but more than Arn could be one of the boys, or Dean could be one of the boys.
They were
Mike-
more office.
Yeah,
Okay.
to me.
Up next is Kevin from Dayton, Ohio. Kevin writes in, Hack, I recently saw on Twitter an argument going about.
Yes, I was doing acid that match in Pittsburgh.
No, that's
Oh,
not.
sorry.
I recently saw an argument going about Riviera Steakhouse jackets. Should non-wrestlers be able to purchase a Riviera Steakhouse jacket, or is this a tradition reserved only for the boys? Please let me and the wrestling world know.
Well, speaking for Ribera, which is
Ribera,
what the
sorry.
boys call it. What were you calling it, Riviera?
Riviera, I butchered
Oh,
it.
yeah.
We all know I can't read.
But
I can't talk.
I was disappointed the time I went there that, for one, the steaks are basically horse meat.
What's
a steak in Japan is not a steak in a prime rib in the United
What's
States.
like the legend behind the Ribera?
Well,
like,
just all
jacket?
the boys go and ate there, you know what I mean? And like some of the guys like Baba started wearing Ribera jackets, you know what I mean? And that's how the culture started around it. So
From America or like
No,
Japan?
from Japan.
Oh, okay.
yeah, but dude, the restaurants, it's
Is it like a chain?
1,200 square feet.
Oh, so it's not
no,
big.
it was only one
Oh, okay.
that I
All
know
right.
of when I was there. And Ralphie was like, I told you about Ralphie, Jason the Terrible.
Never heard of him.
He was like, come on, we gotta go. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go.
You went.
But I went there and they had no jacket, so I was bummed.
So,
I
but,
think I went around the corner to a club.
but do you have a problem, or as a worker?
No, because why would I have a problem when you're a business? I don't want you to just, you're very limited jacket apparel selling is limited if you're giving them away to wrestlers.
Okay.
You're not selling one.
Wait,
man.
Tosh, are you asking like, do you actually have to eat there?
Yeah,
Or,
do you
like-
have to eat there, number
All
one?
right, I
In
would
order to-
say
in order to
it's
get
kind
one?
of like one of those customs. Like, no, dude, you don't buy this in a store.
Okay.
You get this at the restaurant.
Right, like
Okay.
instead of like just showing up to the store and just buying
Yeah.
the jacket and not even
Yeah. But
eating
it's-
there,
Yeah.
compared like you got to actually eat
It was
there.
the best steakhouse in Tokyo.
Was it? I thought you just said it was horse meat.
I said it was the best steakhouse in Tokyo.
They have
I
a
didn't-
lot
still
of great
could-
steaks over there, I think.
Dude, this is 1995.
Okay.
It was horse meat.
Well, they have Kobe beef and everything.
Street horse beef.
Okay, so the steak no good, the jacket you didn't get, and you don't have a problem with wrestling fans having one.
No, as long as they ate there,
As
because
long
that's
as they
the
ate
kind
there.
of thing. That's the thing.
'Cause it's a pilgrimage.
To say you went to Japan, ate there, and you deserve
You
that
went
jacket.
to Mecca. You know what I mean? Yeah. there-
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mecca.
There
Love
you
that.
go. So Kevin, I hope that answers your question. As always, catch us next week. We are reviewing November to Remember 94. Like, share, review. Follow us on social media. But before we go, Hack, the cane of the week or the toast of the week?
All right, first of all four of us should be pistol whipped because we forgot something that we should have talked about in the very beginning of the show.
What?
Jason Kelsey.
Oh, God.
How
Yes.
did we not talk
I
about
meant to bring that up,
Jason
too.
Kelly?
I meant to bring that up,
Kelsey.
too. What?
Yeah, he's getting my cane of the week.
Your cane of the
Him,
week.
yeah, him and Embiid. They both got thrown off their freaking square and did something stupid. You know what I mean? If you're there, you can't. Well, first of all, Kelsey's getting so huge right now that he needs a security entourage. Because he's getting that Shaq level, you know what I'm saying? Him and his brother. And Embiid, he doesn't need the security because your team's got security anyway. But Embiid pushing the reporter, Kelsey literally robbing the man of his phone, which is exactly what he did. That was robbery.
He gave his phone. The kid ended up getting his phone
but
back, but
he
yeah.
robbed it from him first. That's why there's a police investigation into it now.
You can't lose your cool. I don't think the guy was right at all.
You just can't do
And
it.
I don't think Marcus Hayes was right, but you can't lose your cool. You got to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
You can't play yourself out of that
I
square.
mean, tough situation. It sucks that that's what everybody's worried about now is getting people
Clout.
on their
People are chasing
phones.
clout.
And Chris Long explained it best. There's not enough people who've been punched in the face.
I agree. But
And dude, there's usually repercussions now. But when you got your phone in your pocket and you're just recording everything,
I mean, and look at it. It's not like it didn't happen before in Atlantic City. Him and his wife got followed out to the parking lot. There was a little incident there. Learn your lesson, dude.
No.
Learn your lesson. He's got to hire what's his name from the Philly sideline.
Dom. That's probably who he was talking to on the headset.
There you go.
Yeah, that's probably who he was talking to on the headset.
go.
Jason, I know, I understand.
Did ESPN ever come out?
He made a statement on
I know he
before
made the
Monday Night
statement,
Football.
but were they cool?
He's good.
No, they
He's
haven't.
good.
They haven't done anything. I mean, look, he did say
He was on WIP this morning. Everything
yeah?
like he explained himself again. He
He's
basically
being contrite, doing
apologized
the right
again.
freaking thing.
He is.
He basically
Yes.
apologized
But he
again.
knows it.
He
It's not
does.
doing the right thing. It's saying you screwed up.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he did. And he did. You know, he said on Monday Night Football, you know, I live my life by the golden rule, and I didn't do it though. You know,
Yeah.
and I agree with him on that. You know,
And
so-
everybody's got to love him even more for it.
Yeah.
Because they all understand this shit. Like, if you
And they
want
know
it, you
who he
understand
is.
it.
Right.
They know who he is
Yes.
and where his heart's at. Like they know.
All right, so my toast of the week is: we got to put the blue meanie out there as his Halloween costume as Lou Albano. I swear to God, he looks just like him. It's
Perfect.
crazy.
That's an 11 out of 10 Halloween costume.
It is
Meanie.
Oh my God,
It was
is
great,
so-
down to the beard and the miscolor and
It's great.
the ring and everything.
Do you
to
know?
a T.
You know, last week when I said Brian, you thought they was talking about Meanie too. You said Meanie. I was like, do you know Meanie as Brian?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay. So when you see Meanie, you say
Brian
Brian.
Henron, Heffernan.
Heffron. Yeah.
We're gonna have to tag Meanie in
Yeah,
this.
he's
just
also
one narrative.
Brian.
Yes.
Think about the guts and
Yes.
the Brian and everything. Look, he looks like
Oh my
me.
God,
There you go.
are Meanie's doppelganger.
There you go.
You're a doppelganger of Meanie.
Jean shorts and a half shirt.
There you go.
Catch us next week, guys. We're reviewing November to Remember '94. Like, share, review, and we will catch you then.
Peace.
Ain't it foggy outside?